Oh, people are saying they can't hear me. People are saying they can't hear me. Rewind. Hey, welcome to my show, Live with Chris Austin, where I am illuminating humanity. So we are here for another a fantastic episode with an inspirational person to me. She is one of my biggest fans. She's on here every week. She contributes all of these amazing things and comments. And little does she know that she inspires me every single day of my life because I am blown away by her artistic talent and ability. So, Maureen Downs, are you on? Like, let's come on camera. Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. Wow. Wow, what a glowing uh tribute to me. Chris, I did not realize you thought that way about me. Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. You're welcome. So we got to cross paths, I think it's a couple of years ago now at this point, and through some transformational work and you stood out to me because you are to me one of the most compassionate and kind and outgoing and friendly people and you have this vibe about you that is just so it just sucks you in, right? In a great way that you're like, hey, what are you up to and what are you doing? And so I know this is completely out of your box tonight to be sitting here doing it's your very first interview ever, correct?
Ever. Ever, ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is it. You got it.
All
And because
right.
a great deal because it's you, Chris.
Well,
Because
thank you.
not just that you asked me and nobody else has, but because it's you that I felt comfortable.
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah, man.
And
Thank
yeah, and I'm so glad that you're here. And because what I said, I really mean it. You are brilliantly creative and an inspiration with your artwork. And I think people get to know about you, and I think people get to also experience the inspiration and the joy and the passion in your artwork and bring it into their lives. You gifted me, it was a little Christmas ornament about a year ago, and I love that. And I keep it out all year round because it's artwork. Right? It might be a Christmas bulb, but it's artwork. And every time I look at that, and then I purchased a moon painting from you, and I have that in my bedroom, and I love it because I love the moon, and it caught my eye, and I was like, hey, that's my bedroom colors, and I purchased it, and it brings such joy to me. So I really am excited that you're here, and I appreciate you being here. And I really am excited to now learn about you and to talk about you. So I know it's a little uncomfortable for you, and we're going to do it. And so first and foremost, like, what got you into art? Like, what was the first step? Like when you decided it and when you realized, hey, I got some skills here.
I would think I was born this way. I mean, not to quote Lady Gaga or anything, but I think I came out of the womb with like, paint on my fingers and stuff.
Right.
Um, it's got to be genetic. So I was adopted, uh, got to know and meet my birth mother. And one of the first things I asked her was, are you artistic at all? And she does. She's a paint. She was a painter. She has passed, but I was like, wow, so many things are making sense now. And I just love like being able to, I don't know. I used to start off with horses and princes and princesses. And I remember running down to show my mom and dad. They're like, what is that? Run back up and try and do it better. But it's just something that's in me. I can't explain it other than that. So I've always been painting. I was doing a lot of work in Connecticut when I lived there. They had open studios where you'd open up your apartment or studio and people would just come by all weekend. And then when I moved here, uh, I didn't paint for 7 years. So I've been here since 2006. And for some reason, it just stopped. And I'm like, okay, well, what now? There was nothing else. And I went through, all right, don't fight it. And nothing happened, and fight it, and nothing happened. And finally, it just started coming back. I can't give you a reason. And at that time, I was painting apartments for a property management company here for a long time with very little money. And I got laid off because I was making too much money at $11 an hour. And that day on my way home, it's a 7-minute trip. I decided you know what? I can do better with my art. I can do better than $11 an hour with my art. I decided right then and there, I'm going to do it. And there's no plan B. There's no plan B. There's not, well, if this doesn't work out, I could try this. No, this is it. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. I was put on this earth for this because it's something I've never tired of. It's something I get up in the morning and I'm excited to do, and researching at the beach.
I love that.
lots of researching. Um, and yeah, every day, this is what I love to do.
And it shows, right? And when you say researching at the beach, because a lot of your artwork comes from the ocean
Yeah.
and the beach. So is that a personal inspiration for you, the beach and ocean?
From Hawaii. So I think that's where it really embedded itself in me. My dad is a Navy pilot, and we were stationed there for 4 years. And then we had to leave, and I was kicking and screaming the whole way. But while I was there, the water, the people, the culture, the landscape, it was almost like I was there in another time. And this was just part of my DNA. And I was fascinated with it and wanted to learn how to paint that so I could take it home, because I know we're surrounded by water here. Well, not in Connecticut. Well, yeah, it is, but it's brown and it
Yeah,
doesn't count.
yeah,
Apologize to Connecticut people, but it's brown water. It's like, no.
yeah.
And I wanted to be able to paint that for myself, memory, so I wouldn't forget. And that's how that started. And when I moved here, I wanted to make sure that I was by the beach. Why else move to some place like this unless I was going to be happy where I was? And I'm 20-minute walk from the beach here. So the water, and I'm sure there's other elements of why water, the flow of it, the surf art is not just about surfing, it's about the metaphors that have to do with water, not just, going with the flow, but, paddling out, waiting for that wave, waiting for your time, waiting for an opportunity. The feeling I get when I'm underwater is complete serenity. Every sound is muted and there's just peace for me. And that's the one place on this whole planet that my body feels no pain, none. My body, my mind, my spirit is a complete peace there. And I wanted to capture that in my art too, and to pass on to other people for the exact reason that you were saying, that, you dig my stuff to bring that joy to people, landlocked or not, and they can still have that experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it shows in your artwork, right? It shows in your artwork and the peace and the serenity that brings to people. And knowing the background behind it now, and what it is, because it's breathtaking and it's gorgeous. And I actually have, for those of you that are watching, okay, so again, I forgot to mention this. Anytime throughout the show you have a question or comment for Marene and her artwork and anything you want to learn, please feel free to put it in the comments, and I'll make sure we get that over to her. But I'm actually gonna take a moment to share my screen here a little bit. You might see a little bit of my computer background, and if my cat's on there, my sincere apologies, everybody, because that's the background on my
No,
computer.
man, I love
So,
art.
so yeah, I wanted to sit here and show everyone this is a piece of Maureen's artwork. So maybe you could speak into a little bit about it, of like if you have a name for this, or what is the inspiration, and to talk people through like how you came to this painting.
Okay, so this particular one has two names, Mangata and Lover's Lane. Mangata is the word for the moonlight's reflection on the water. This particular piece came from one of the a night event from the trainings on the beach the day before a significant exercise. We were on the beach, the whole team, at night, with the moon in the water. I don't think anybody had bathing suits, so I was in there with my clothes on. Everybody just and I saw this, and the feeling of it, just being completely safe, even after seeing the movie Jaws, which I do not go into the water at night still because of that. But that night I did, and how it felt. The waves weren't that big, the palm trees weren't there, but it's the how it felt. That's this. And I came home, and the week after that particular weekend, I painted this. And it only took like a day.
That's crazy. That only took you a day to paint.
Yeah. And what I
Wow.
get the feeling is if two people were out on the beach at night having a talk or no talk, hand in hand walking, this is what they would see.
Well, it's beautiful, and I want to bring up like another one because we're talking about, you know, the ocean is a lot of your inspiration, and so to hear this looks like a surfer like ready to go
Yeah,
out and like crush it, right?
this happened quickly. This happened like a couple hours. I just went really loose. Again, it's about capturing the emotion. The colors, the colors are connected to emotions. So not only the color itself, but how they vibrate when they're next to each other. For example, the blue, the green, and the orange red, it has its own vibration. And I just wanted to bring out the feel of there's a dude starting out trying to find a wave on a beach, and all the colors, things are sparkling, things are glowing. There's actually a lot of color, not only in the ocean, but in life itself. That it's not a black and white world we live in, and there's so many colors. And I think I exaggerate that, and just wanted to go really loose and fast on this, and boom. When I don't think, and that's where the magic happens. I think when I call it not caring. It's not that I don't care. So I don't care how it comes out. I don't care if anybody else but me likes it. I don't care if everything is correct, being proportion or anything else. And that was this piece. I love this piece.
Yeah, it caught my eye. It was one, I mean, Maureen didn't know I was grabbing some of her artwork and I was going to show it here tonight. And I thought it was a great way to let people know and see your beauty and your creativity as we were on here tonight. And the people are actually asking, what are the size of the paintings and are they available to buy?
Absolutely, they are available to buy. The first one that I showed is 16 by 20.
This one right here?
Yeah, and that is
Okay.
for $320 plus shipping. The surfer dude, wow, I'll have to look that up. I have them. I'm pretty sure I still have them. It's smaller than that. Yeah, you can't really tell sizes on Facebook. On my page, Maureen Downs is my personal page for algorithm reasons. I have all this here, and their sizes and prices are usually listed. If not, just give me a holler, shout me out. I'm really good at returning messages.
Yeah,
Uh,
we'll make sure we put that in the comments and we'll give her pages at the end too, because all of this stuff she like it's amazing. She posted on her personal Facebook page. That's how I bought mine. Like
yeah,
she was like,
yeah.
hey, check it out. And I was like, hey, I want that. And she was like, all right. She's like, when? I'm like, now, sold. You know, and it happened. And you know, we were able to have that happen. And Lenka's on here saying that's a beautiful picture. It's already improving my mood. Yeah, so let's show a couple more, right? So
Yeah, that is why I paint. Who said that?
Lenka.
Lenka, that is exactly why I paint to evoke joy, like you were saying, Chris, at the beginning, to bring that kind of joy and stoke to people's lives. So one thing I did want to say, another reason I paint is because to remind people you aren't just work. Your life is cannot be just about work. It's those moments, it's those memories that hopefully remind you when you go out the door in the morning that there's more to what you're going for. If you're going to be a plumber, if you're wherever else you're working, that is not your life. The moments in between are your life. And when you come home, maybe you need another reminder, and there it is. So that's another aspect that I hope to ripple out to people on why I do what I do.
Yeah, and and thank you for sharing that, because it's just it's important. Like art is so important, like historically. Like historically, like and sometimes people can be in the worst moods, and you see the most beautiful picture and like the way that you're able to capture something, and it really can make a difference for people, like 100%. Not only the person creating it but the person that are also participating in looking at the artwork. Like we all have pictures on our wall for the most part, and we buy them for a reason, because they create a certain spirit, a certain mood, a certain experience, and like you said, memories. We hang up pictures of photographs. Why? Because it's a happy memory.
Right.
Same thing with artwork. It can really create that. So I appreciate you sharing that. And I want to take a minute to share the screen again, because what I love about you is that it almost always looks like there's a different artist creating every artist
All
piece, because
right.
you are so diverse and able to paint in your artwork. So tell me a little bit about this mermaid. And like what I loved about it was the light coming in and the depth of it. I mean, there is so much story I made up here of this art piece. So talk to us about this one.
This is 18 inches by 36 inches. This one was started at a live painting event at Art Brawl, which is at the Art Attack Galleries in Fort Lauderdale that I participate in the second Saturday of every month. Um, and I started it and I didn't finish it. And this was, oh, well, it's got to be 2018 now, because 2019 maybe. And I didn't touch it. I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. And I liked parts. Oh, you can't see me on it. I have a little,
Yeah,
I'm
we can
doing
see you. They can
my
see you,
own
I promise.
PowerPoint. So the
Yeah.
little bubbly thing, that was like a little bubbly thing that she's sort of swimming through up towards the surface, relaxed position, because this is how it feels to me to be underwater.
Yes.
I've never wanted to be a mermaid, except that it'd be really cool to breathe underwater without a device. That would be like the most freeing thing to me. Um, I have gone skinny dipping in Cape Cod with a few friends of mine, and that was one of the most liberating feelings, like totally free. You talk about going, oh, back to a time before man existed. That's in
Yes.
my artwork too. I do a lot of that. No buildings, no mechanical stuff. How it must have felt before man's uh, messed up. I'm trying, man.
Hey man, it's cool. No, like your opinion matters. Go for it. Yeah.
I'm trying not to swear.
I know. Maureen's doing really good tonight. I have to try not to swear so much. She goes, "Oh man." So you're doing great.
Before man like put his stain on everything and decided to take what is beautiful and just mess it up. So that was the feeling in that mermaid piece, that a little shimmer with the gold and the pinks on the scales and everything, but just how it feels to be, you're rising and you're gonna get there. It's no big rush, and just feeling that connection with the ocean. Mother Earth, Mother Ocean, they're all connected. Uh,
Absolutely.
and I think that's why, as a collective, we gravitate either to the ocean as a humanity, or to the mountains, because
Mhm.
there's something really powerful in the earth magic, the water magic, that, boy, probably since man began or saw the ocean, that they gravitate there. It's for a reason. We get serenity there. We get recharged there.
Absolutely. And it's a very feminine vibe. Like the ocean tends to be a feminine vibe. The mountain is the masculine. vibe principle and all of that. And so you bring the two together when you have the water under the mountains. That's really cool, like the lakes and the rivers and the mountains.
Yeah.
But there's something about the ocean that it just calls, people in energetically. And, that's why people like to live by it, but you do such an amazing job of expressing that,
Thank
and
you.
so like I said, so many times when I look at your paintings, I'm like, man, that's the same artist painting that picture. Like, because it's very diverse from the first couple I showed, right, to here. It's almost like you can go from like a fine artist to, like I don't know all the art terminologies, but like you express in different ways to where I'm like, oh, is that the same medium? Is that the same kind of paint? Is it different? Like, so it's like I want, like, so why don't you talk about that a little bit, right? Because sometimes you can look at an artwork and you can constantly be like, oh yeah, that's a Picasso, that's an O'Keeffe, that's a whatever. And then people might not know specifically, like, hey, that's a Marene painting. So why don't you talk a little bit about that? Because I know, like, when I said, well, what kind of artist are you? You said that's an interesting question. So I'd love to hear more about that.
Yeah, I struggled with that because I did, you did ask me to give you some information about it, and boy, did I struggle with that one because I am all over the place, and it wasn't even pinholing me. It's just really I want to be true to how I express my stuff, or if you were to read it, oh, I have an idea. No, you don't, man. I don't even know. Impressionism, expressions, impressionistic expressions. I told you, I think I made that. I don't even know if it's a
I
thing.
love the sound of it.
Um, but I do abstract, and I do a little bit of fine stuff, and I do absolute abstracts. I don't know. I do not think that yeah, it must just be one of the things. I don't want to limit myself, and still, have a transparency and honesty with the audience, with the buyer of well, where do I find this genre? I was like, I think I made it up. Like,
Right. Well,
it's
that's what I was going to say, that I think that you are so artistically unique. Like, to me, like, I look at your artwork, and honestly, this was my thought process. Wow. She's either absolutely taught herself all of this, right? Or she's like taken like classes and stepped up and learned different things. But I feel like it's you. And see, that's what I think that makes you so distinct as an artist, is because I got nobody to compare you to. And I think that is magical, right? That like
like
I look at one of your,
done.
yeah, like I look at one of your art pieces, I'm like, oh, that's Maureen. And I'm like, no, like, to me, it's so unique, and it's you. And I feel like you have created a new existence of art, to where I am sure there are some artists just getting started that if they were to look at your pieces, they would say, hey, I'm going to play with that and see if I can recreate that.
Wow, that'd be
So I
great.
think, yeah, like I think that you actually have a new thing here to like inspire people to like create. I think it just flowed to you, honestly.
I am self-taught. I was given that, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go to college? What do you want to do? Was a question I was asked when I was 17. I said, I want to go to art school. And my mother, who I thought, since she had been on the planet way longer than me, knew more. And she's like, well, how are you going to pay rent and pay for a car and pay for this? And it scared me.
It seems to be a trend, like when people want to
Like
like
paralyzed me.
self-express
Like, oh,
creatively.
I thought I
Yeah.
would do it because I've seen people sell their artwork, and then I was just filled with fear. So I didn't go to art school, which is actually a blessing. A lot of my friends who went saying, it's so constricting, everything. So I studied other people's stuff. Ooh, how did they do that? And I just played. I mean, if you
Well,
don't
I'm glad
play,
that you did. I'm glad that you did, and you were creative, because I'm going to tell you, like, I've seen other people post, and I right away I'm like, oh, that's a Marine priest. Because like, I think you do have a style, and I can look at a piece of artwork and know that it's yours.
wow, that's
Like,
so
I'm
cool.
like, yeah, like I know that it's yours, and you know me, I don't care what other people think. I just think like you are starting your own brand, and there's people on here. Let's see, there's a lot of stuff coming in right now. So, let's see. I agree with not thinking. It's a feeling. That's Emily. That's one of my friends. And then Amy Suzmastein is saying, "What are you working on now?" Oh
Oh,
yeah. So like
hey,
you have a
hey,
yeah.
Emily, I know her too, dude.
Yeah,
Hi,
so
hi.
she's saying what are you working on now? And Alicia Hugh Fisher, she's on
Hey.
she's on here saying art speaks all languages. And then they want to know Florencia Clement de Grand Pre, if I
Yeah,
said that right.
yeah,
She
yeah.
says, how do you pick your colors? And I think Maureen has a very defined style. So how do you pick your colors?
I grab a tube. I feel it. It's, uh, I feel it. This is all like the thinking part of it, and I've seen other artists lay out their palette, and this is the color scheme we're going for. I I don't think I have the patience for that, which is one reason I probably work in acrylic as opposed to oil, because I don't have the patience to sit and wait for it to dry. So it's just a feeling. Hey, I think this needs a little pink. I think this needs purple. So I grab it like that. It's you can call it intuition. You can call it something coming down and just inspiring me to do that. It's simply grabbing tubes.
What speaks to you, aka grabbing
That
tubes. I
speaks to
love
me.
that saying, just grabbing tubes. I love it. So there's your answer, how she chooses her colors. So that's cool. So just whatever flows to you. And then Amy Moister Sustein is saying your colors are awesome. And Christopher Ray Warner is saying, I love my Marine K Downs original. It takes me back to all the good beach memories when the beach was almost literally all me and my friends had. All of the soul
Oh,
you put in resonates to my own and simplifies a complicated time for me, reminding me to focus on the good, and I will carry it with me and treasure it for the rest of my journey. So he must have purchased a piece from you.
yeah. Oh, wow. Give me a second here. This is why I paint.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome. Yeah,
As
you deserve to hear, all the inspiration and looking at your piece in his possession every day of what it creates for him. So it's
that's it.
beautiful. And that's why I'm glad you said yes to being on here tonight, because you are so worthy and deserving of being showcased. And I'm gonna ask everyone to share this all over their pages and support and buying your art, like because that's why I'm here. I want people to be known, to see the greatness they're bringing into the world, the love, the joy, and to support each other, especially artists. Our artists always get to have support because, like you said, it's people think your work is brilliant, but then when it comes down to paying it and buying for it, they're like, oh, and they want you to like, and it's not about that because I know that a lot of artists like are challenged by that, the hours that go into it, the creativity that goes into it, and the love that goes into it. You get to have people purchase your stuff and pay money for it.
Thank
You want
you.
to speak
Thank
into
you.
that at all about like
Yeah,
artists and
that's
pieces?
I do want to address Amy. I am currently working on a warrior series. Who knew I had warrior in me?
There we go. There it is. There's
Yeah,
one.
I did that today. I did that
Yeah.
today.
All right.
Black Panther, Wakanda. Yeah, I was playing the soundtrack all day long, and I wanted something strong and fierce and beautiful and wonderful, and the fact that the general was a woman in the movie, just like I was absolutely blown away by that. So I think this is number 6 in the series. Um,
So what inspired the Warrior Project?
I think it's part of who I am, Chris. I've fought for a lot of things. I fought to be who I am, who I decide to be, and not somebody else. I fought for being heard, being afraid of being seen, being invisible, and not digging how that felt. And like I had to fight for stuff. I had to fight for I'm going to be an artist. this is who I am, and I'm messy and I'm gorgeous and I'm uh, complicated, I'm easy and I'm funny and I'm smart and I'm wise. And I felt like most of my life I had to fight society, myself, to be all that. And this, I think it's just coming to a landing spot with my art here. I don't think I've never done so many in a short period of time. So I think it's expressing that and owning it for myself. I get to be strong and I get to be soft and support people and be supported. And
Yeah, well, this is beautiful. So this is available for purchase as well.
yeah, this is a 9 by 12 inch. It's on a canvas board, which just means it's canvas threading on a hard board. And that is 120 plus shipping. It's 120 if you come pick it up. Yeah.
Well, it's gorgeous. So I'm glad I had that one there because I
Yeah, me too.
so like how long does something like that take you to paint?
Okay, so here's what's interesting. 57 years, 9, 10 months, and 4 hours.
I love that answer.
That's you to paint.
What a cool answer. Life. I'll put on a
There's like,
canvas.
I've got a 30 by 40 that I'm in the middle of doing that took me less time than that 9 by 12.
Wow.
Sometimes it goes like that. So it's my entire life, everything I've learned, unlearned, decided to try. That's how long it took me. That's how long.
Awesome. Yeah.
I do want to address the concept you had brought up earlier, which is exactly what Art Squad is about. So Art Squad was that 3 or 4 years ago now? Myself, Desiree Kim, Stephanie Layden, and now Heather Nyman. We all got together and decided that we would like to change the conversation about artists getting paid. More specifically, artists getting paid for live painting. And this happened so many times. We got so frustrated because people would ask us to live paint at their events. And we'd go, well, how much are you paying? And there's like, no, we're not paying, but there's a lot of exposure because there's going to be tons of people there and the traffic. And I'm like, oh, and your live band. Yeah, and a live band. Well, are the musicians getting paid? Oh, yeah, they're entertainment. So we're on this movement or quest to educate not only the businesses, the venues that would like to have this, because it's a really cool thing to see, from nothing to something.
It is. I've totally seen live painting in person as entertainment, and it's awesome.
And educating the artists too. Stop painting for nothing. You're worth more than exposure. I can't pay my electric bill and exposure coin yet. So, and this is it's an ongoing conversation between, everybody on one side and the artists on the others that we get to do this. We get to get paid for our job. This is our job. This is my job. And this is my playground. It's what I do. And I am so blessed that I get to do what I love to do every day, and that other people resonate and get such excitement and joy out of what I love to do. There's not much better than that. There's not. So do whatever it is that you've always wanted to do, man. I so encourage you, go do that thing for the rest of your life. Now, it's not always easy. It's not always a piece of cake, but this is the best time of my life right now. I'm the happiest I've ever been.
I love that. And so you paint canvas, right? So you paint on canvases, but you also do like custom orders and cool stuff. So like you make like t-shirts and shoes and hats and Christmas ornaments and stuff like that. So why don't you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So I think I was at a Surf Art and Expo event in Virginia Beach. I was going there. I was like, oh, I don't want to just have this. And I'm like, well, I'll paint myself a shirt, Marene Originals. And some cool surf stuff. And I'm like, the paint lasts really well. Like you can't get this stuff off. I'm wearing pants now that have paint on them that I haven't even prepped, and it's still been on here for years. So I put it on hats, I put it on t-shirts, shoes. So this dude from this event bought a pair of my shoes and he left that way. And he came back about an hour later and I saw him walking with my shoes. I lost my mind. I was like, whoa, that is so cool. My stuff out in the world. To highlight also individualism. You cannot, 10,000 people aren't going to have this. They're not. I should put a light on myself because it's really dark.
You are getting a little darker as the sun is setting in
Give
South
me
Florida.
1 second.
Oh, we love Marene, man. I love it. There you go. We can see your artwork in the back now too. Nice.
So I didn't even realize I couldn't see myself. So hey, it's one of a kind, right? You get to be who you are. You're the only person on this planet. And in celebrating that, whatever your stoka is, whatever turns you on, you get to wear, and it's an original. Somebody else might have a similar design, but not this one. And to me, that was a powerful thing. Hats, shoes, murals, ornaments. I have mine up here too, Chris, all year long. It just because it's round and sparkly doesn't mean it has to be for Christmas. I call them sparkly balls from Saturday Night Live, sweaty balls. On that.
Yeah.
And a reminder to have fun. Like we take things so absolutely serious, especially in this time, which is a serious issue time, but
I say that all the time. I'm like, you know, we make certain cookies around Christmas, like in my family growing up. I'm like, dude, we love these cookies. Why are we only making them at Christmas? You know, like with the Christmas ornaments, like who made that rule up? You know, like if you like something and it brings you joy, like why do we wait for once a year?
Yeah, we can, boy, I'm tripping again. We can get rid of all the rules.
Yeah.
Because a lot, I get society rules, I really do. And I'm not a flag waver for that, but I highly endorse breaking the rules, making your own. When that happens, magic happens. You get to step into who you were meant to be when you came to be born here in this time. So do it. Break those ceilings, break the rules, have fun. Yeah, have Lucky Charms for dinner. Who said that was wrong?
Because they're magically delicious, right? Might as well do it.
Yeah, why do we limit ourselves?
Yeah.
I think we limit ourselves so much. I do it myself too, and I constantly reminding myself, who told you to do that? And are they here? No.
Hey, who made those rules?
Yeah. You know, I live alone. I'm like, why am I adhering to rules that my mother placed down when I was 12? Like, I don't think they apply anymore, you know.
Yeah. No, it's a great out of the thinking box, you know, to be your true self, to step into that authenticity and who you are, you know. So I think the custom stuff is super cool, like the t-shirts, the hats, the shoes, like probably anything that you can put paint on. Like if somebody came to you and said, hey, can you paint this, right?
If it doesn't move, I'll probably paint it.
Yeah, you know, probably furniture, who knows, right? Like there could be cool stuff to do. So people come to you to make custom art pieces or even on canvases. So if they want like a custom canvas done, they can reach out to you for that?
Sure. Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Okay. I had this one lady at an art show come up, and she was really grooving on the shirts and everything. And she had her shirt on. She's like, hey, can you do a little thing here? On her body, on the shirt. So I took some paint, I just put a couple slashes and boom, and she was so excited.
That's awesome.
And then that gets me excited too. So yes, I'm at Marene Originals Art on Facebook. Your best bet is to get me on my personal page, Maureen Downs on Facebook, message me. I do 90% of my sales is online. Even though I have art events and everything, 90% is online, and has been since 2014 when I started my plan A. Mm-hmm. I'm on Instagram. Marine Originals Arts, website www.marineoriginals.com. Any of those, hit me up. I'll talk to you. I'm not scary.
Not at all. And I actually,
Yeah, I'd love to hear from you.
I tagged her in this video, so her name and her tag is at the top of this video.
Right.
So you can just click on that, and it'll take you to her Facebook page, and you can friend her, and she'll accept you. I'm gonna say she'll accept you.
I'll
Uh,
accept you.
yeah, as her friend.
Very accepting.
And like I said, when you friend her on Facebook, like literally all the time, like her masterpieces are being put up there for like saying, okay, come by me, you know, and I'm ready, and here I am. And it doesn't surprise me that 90% are sold online, because you throw them up there and like everybody just wants it. You know, so like it's powerful. Like your work is like I said, it's, to me it's just so unique, you know, and I love that. And like somebody had said earlier on here, and I forget who, so my apologies, but said that you do have your own consistency, you know, that you have your own consistency at
I
home.
thought I was like
I'd
the
have
least
to scroll, I'd have to
person.
scroll and find that. But oh, right here, Florencia said, within the variety, I still think there is a lot of consistency.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Florencia. Because I think I'm all over the place and, do birds one day and I'm doing warriors the next, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to anybody but me. So it is a gift. It's never a given. When somebody digs and my art resonates to them, it's always a gift. I never think it's an absolute. So I truly am so grateful. I feel blessed by the gift that I've had and what I'm able to do with it and paying it forward that way.
Yeah, and Amy's saying that's what happened to me. I saw it and I wanted more than one. Scrolling. Right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and Florence is saying, and it's super affordable. And you accept payments. Sounds like you got your fan club hanging out here, man. Like they're saying it's super, and
Nice.
it is, because I want to say that too, because even like when I bought mine, I was like, you know, what's the price? You're like $50. I'm like, okay. I didn't flinch, you know what I mean? So I think that like you are a great example of knowing your worth, knowing your talent, knowing that you deserve money. And I always think that the exchange of money is such energetically awesome anyway,
Yes.
you know, like
And it's
for,
an exchange. It's simply an exchange. Uh,
yeah,
there's one thing I wanted you would just spark something, and I want to get to that.
sure.
Yeah, I do take payments, and here's why. Uh, these do not belong in my house. They don't. As much as I paint for myself, I paint for other people. So if you see something you really dig, I really want you to have it, and I'll work with you because it belongs in its rightful home. It doesn't belong in my closet or another room or a wall here. Somebody reminded me that you don't always paint for yourself. I do have a couple favorites that I won't let go of.
Totally, I
That I don't
bet.
think I ever show.
I'd love to see those one time. Yeah.
Or I haven't, you know, came to that place where I was okay. I'm ready to let these go. But you don't pay for yourself, Maureen, he said, and I was like, huh. He goes, no, you sell these. Don't keep them. So
Yeah,
yeah.
and I think that because so many artists that I know, that's what happens. They paint, and then there's that, what are people gonna think? Are they gonna like my work? Can I ask for money? These are some conversations of friends of artists of mine. Like, what do I ask for this? Is that ridiculous to ask for? Is that too little? Is that too much? And it stops them. It
And
stops them
sometimes
from
it's a
putting
feeling.
their,
What am I okay with that going for? What am I okay? I don't want to shortchange myself.
yeah.
Um, so I lately more and more I won't do that. Uh, because what that lowers my vibration, that lowers my worth, and I fought too long to get it where it's, I'm
Totally.
good right here,
Yeah,
so
and I love that you do payment plans, because you know, everybody gets to have art that speaks to them, you know, and calls to them. And you know, especially lately with the finances, the pandemic, people's ups and downs, and you know, imagine having that ability to do so. And to me, that's a win-win, you know, for you and the person buying your art. And hopefully sooner than later you can get out there back to those live events, right? Setting up your booths and stuff like that. Cause I
Oh,
know
well,
like you probably missed that.
this Saturday is Art Brawl at Art Attack. I don't know how you look that up. Art Attack, Art Brawl, Mass District. It's the second Saturday, or the second to last Saturday, the third Saturday of every month.
And where's that located?
In Fort Lauderdale at Northeast 807 Northeast 4th Avenue. If you look up Art Attack Gallery in Fort Lauderdale, or MASS District, is where the art walk that I'm participating in happens. And it's this Saturday, 6 to 10 p.m.
Nice.
Florencia is going to be there too, yo.
Nice. I
Florencia's going
love
to
it.
be there. Heather's going to be there. I'm going to be there.
Love it.
Boy, is this
So
the
why don't
bunch.
we do this? Why don't we say like when we're done, if will you go to the comments and put that information in there and maybe the link to your Facebook?
How do I do that?
Well, you just, if you go like to my page, you'll see the
Oh, okay.
comments, you know, where you
Yeah,
usually go on every week and type.
sure.
You just type the name of that event in there and the address so people can, if they live in Fort Lauderdale or South Florida, they want to go stop by, like they might be able to do that. And then we'll just put your name in there and then they know now that they'll know the name and Instagram, and I'll make sure you know, I'll get her Instagram and all that stuff on there as well too, because your stuff is awesome and it's got a vibe. And here's the thing, like I have people on my show that their spirit matches what they're up to, right? That your attitude matches what you're up to, and you're the real deal. Like, and when I say you're the real deal, meaning like being on my show, is that you care about humanity and that you care about people and that you care about coming from a love context and paradigm only all the time, and you really do see the greatness in people. And you're one of those people in my life that like when I see your name, I'm like, I get so excited. Like if you write to me, if your name's in my phone, if your name comes up in my social media, I get excited. And then when I see you in person, forget about it. It's a whole next level, you know, and that's what your art does, you know. So you know, I want to like reemphasize that on here because I know you were like, you want me on my show, and yeah, and like I really hope that you let that in, that I see you as a professional artist. I see you as a professional, badass artist that makes a difference in people's lives, and the spirit behind your artwork and the motivation behind your artwork and how it's called to you is inspiring. And I know that it aligns with bringing joy and love and peace and like freedom to the world. So thank
Well,
you for that.
I'm hiring you as my agent because wow, you just like encapsulated everything that I would hope that somebody gets from my art,
Yeah.
from me. So it is an honor to be here, and I'm so stoked that you chose me. You chose me for this,
Yeah,
and
and
that's
thank you for
great.
stepping out of your comfort zone and saying yes. Because I know that's not an easy task for people.
I'm okay, man. This is like that's all right. I'm
Yeah.
all
I
right.
told her, I said, it's cool. Like we just get on together. It's like you and I are just hanging out and the rest of the people are writing comments. I'll let you know what they say. I said, it's a good deal virtually to do this. So, you know, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, you know, for being on here. And not only that, you've been one of my biggest supporters, you know, not only in my other profession of being in transformational work and what I do, you're always have had my back and all the changes and different things that go on with that and my new adventures. You're my biggest cheerleader, you know, and what I'm up to. And what I love about you in my life is you're like, so Chris, this? What about you step into this? I think somebody needs to interview you. What
Oh, I did.
about this? And I love that about you because I'm not thinking about those things. And I'm like, and now you put a little like couple of things in my ear, and I'm like, oh, maybe, you know, but just by being on the phone with you the other day. And I love that about you because you're always championing me to be the very best person. And I appreciate that because you remind me of the gifts that I can contribute. And you're a great example of like, don't hide your gifts. if you have them. And you've
So I
been,
love it also
especially in
because
the
you
last
got,
month, you've been the biggest teacher to me about that.
you have been for me too, because you sang, and I told you this, it scares it scares you.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and for whatever reason, you're like, I'm gonna do it. And this is not something I enjoy, but I'm good at it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you don't get to hide this from the world, because your voice, who you are comes out in your voice, Chris, and it's lyrical and it's just beautiful and melodic. And I'm fascinated. I replayed that over and over and over again. I'm like, you know what, if Chris can do it, this really uncomfortable thing, I can go and talk about myself on her show and be like, so you were very instrumental in getting me that last little push that, okay, I can do this. And I'm so digging it and so grateful that I I'm in your life that way, that you think about me that way. And you have been for me. So yeah.
Well, thank you for that, because that was my whole purpose of showing people that taking a risk might be scary, and we're still here to talk about it afterwards.
I did
So
try.
so yeah, so so thank you, and I'm glad that that inspired you. And so again, Maureen K Downs, check her out on Facebook, Instagram. Check her out at her live event coming up this weekend in Fort Lauderdale. Purchase a piece of art, like check it out. There's so many. And then if there's something there, call up, get a custom piece, right? Whatever you want, she's here to create. Support her as an artist, because she's an amazing human being making a difference in the world. So I want to thank you, Maureen, for being a guest tonight, for stepping through that. I want to thank everybody that's watching and's been
I was just gonna
contributing.
say, man, thank you to everybody, because I can't see y'all, but I so appreciate you taking and making the time to be here and supporting us both, man. Thank you so much. Mahalo.
Totally. Yeah, and the best way that you can support both of us is share this. Share this. So more exposure is the best way that you can support us. And for me, it's tuning in each week and sharing it and seeing what we're up to. So I love you all. I appreciate you all. And we will see you all next week on a live with Chris Austin, 7 p.m. Eastern. Catch you later. Thanks, Maureen.
You
Love
bet.
you.
My pleasure.
All
Love
right.
you,
Good
dude.
night.